Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, Gayatri ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Are you able to see me? Good morning, Hitan.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm so excited that you are here today with me. And actually, I'm more than happy, because you'll be sharing all those healthy tips, something, that I have learned and picked up from you. Yeah, but I'm not able to see you, I'm able to hear you, but not see you.
Let me check what's wrong here because my video is on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are still trying to connect, so could be, some connectivity error.
Should I should I leave and connect again?
Yeah, I think you can do that, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, now I can see you. All
Fine.
right, people, I think without wasting much time, I'm going to just begin. I'm going to share the screen first and then start off by a brief introduction, about our webinar for the day, which is about teacher well-being. And yes, so teacher well-being is something, which we all have been talking about a lot. And I think it is one of the most trending word or the phrase, that we have been listening to since several months, especially from the time when the lockdown had begun and, the entire COVID period. And of course, a few people have been talking about it before COVID as well. But I guess that there's still, a lot of gray area to it as to, what exactly is teacher well-being, who is responsible for it, how do, we actually take teacher well-being ahead individually or as a school, or if a school leadership or a management has to think about it. And for taking this meeting forward, I have, someone very special, especially very close to my heart, because I have basically seen her work towards teacher well-being, and I think a lot of it which I have picked up is also from her. So we have Mrs. Gayatri Loganathan as our guest for today's webinar. We welcome you, ma'am, today for this webinar, and thank you so much for giving me this time. And I think that this is more of an opportunity that I can once again, listen to all those guiding words and those guidance that you used to give me earlier, and now we all will be, having that privilege of listening to it once again. So thank you for that, ma'am. And I think we'll begin with the session now. So just moving before we move ahead to the first slide, I would want, if a few people here could tell us that, at their current role right now, in your current school, in your the position that you are in at the moment, how what is your feeling, that how satisfaction, what is the level of satisfaction that you're having in your current role, or what are the challenges that you're facing? Can you, please share that? Nobody wants to share it? Okay.
Hi, good morning. I'm
Hi.
Marivu. I'm right now working as a teacher, PYP teacher
Uh-huh.
uh, in HUS International under Gayatri Ma'am's guidance.
Right.
So it's a pleasure to all of us, I hope, to be a part of her team. We have a convenient time, and we have a very easy approach. Uh, when it comes to the taking a guidance from Gayatri ma'am or delivering our ideas and sharing our knowledge with the entire team, because of the collaborative meetings we have with a close relationship. Apart from a professional team, we are very close, and we never feel left out in any way, because every member of the team is considered, and ideas are gathered from each member when it comes to a collaborative way of delivering our teaching ideas to or any kind of program we conduct in a collaborative way. So we gather together and we deliver all of our ideas, and a best way is picked up, and we wholeheartedly participate in the programs. So that is the best thing what I find. And nobody has I feel so, because no one has been left out, and they are taken in wholeheartedly. So this gives an immense opportunity for all the teachers to improve their knowledge and the skills, and they feel that yes, we should not we should provide our we should provide our service in a better way every time whenever we get into a task, new task. When it is given to us, yes, we should do it in a best way, best of us. We should give always the best of us. So this is the thing what I feel. So I hope and this gives an encouragement, immense encouragement to all of us, as we could improve our knowledge in the teaching area. And always the support what we get from our leader is very helpful to deliver our ideas, and guide our and take forward our classroom teaching in a confident way. So this is the idea what I would like to share with you.
Okay,
all.
so what overall I understand is that you're fully satisfied in your current role, right? That is what I understand from this. Okay, so
Yes,
I think
of
we'll
course.
take maybe one or two more people at the max, because I would not want to take away, the entire time in it, and avoid listening to Gayatri ma'am. I would not do that. Okay, so maybe one more hand.
Thank you for the opportunity to share my
You're welcome.
ideas.
Yeah. Anybody else who wants to share it? I think Srishti is here. Srishti, I think your role is completely different this time, right? As to what me and Gayatri ma'am have seen. Would you want to share something how you are feeling in your current role?
I'm so sorry, I've just reached school. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I'll just share. So yeah, it's a very new thing for me, even though like it's been a year. So I'm still in this learning phase. I mean, previously I was under Gayatri ma'am and under you. So you were there to guide me. And right now it's a complete change for me, handling teachers under me. So I still want to learn a lot, and I'm looking forward for this session. And the challenge that I face is right now, see, the teachers mostly are of my age, as I'm dealing with pre-primary mostly. So sometimes, it happens that they get very friendly, which at this point where I am, I can't be very friendly also. Plus, I don't want to be, like a very bossy sort of a thing. So there I need to, manage how to go with it.
Right. Agreed. I can totally understand that, because I think I have faced that. I have faced that very badly. And I think luckily that time only, we had somebody who joined in and took us, ahead of it. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Raji, I think Miss Raji wants to speak something. Yes, ma'am.
I can say we are sailing on the same boat. It's the same event because I even picked up by Gayatri ma'am to this position. So, it 3-4 years, I had all my colleagues. I was working with them, and when my post was being little bit upgraded, it's little, like where to be little bit or things,
Yeah.
and where to be friendly and move easy with them. All those things just ask at this place. Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, I think that now I would move ahead, and I think I'm going to throw out the first question to Gayatri ma'am. Ma'am, as per you, what exactly is teacher well-being?
Uh, Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, ma'am.
Happy New Year.
Good, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to quote Hans Christian Andersen's quote here. Just living isn't enough, said the butterfly. One must have sunshine, freedom, and a little flower. So I feel every person's well-being is important, whether you're a student, teacher, parent, principal, administrator. You have the right to be well, and well simply because you are inherent worth as a person itself. Uh, Teacher well-being is all the more important because you play a multiple role. Usually we call mom is a multitasker, right? But most of our teachers play mom as well as the teacher role. So you can imagine what kind of uh, role model or a stress they are coming. And I think everybody has a right to be knowing about what is their well-being and how to proceed with it. This is what I see.
Right. Agreed. Okay. So, is there anyone else, who want to maybe tell in their own words that what do they feel exactly is teacher well-being? Maybe any one or two person who want to speak about it quickly.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. So actually, the teacher well-being is that how for our mental health as well as the physical health is being staying positive.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
it's very much important that once the physical health really depends on the mental health. So well-being is interconnected. So that
Right.
gives a confidence in oneself as well as the opposite person also feel very confident and comfortable with ourselves. So
Hmm.
it's very much important that well-being in mentally and physically play a great role. Thank you.
Right. Great. Okay. Anybody else who wants to say it? Yangjela is here. Yangjela, do you want to tell us, as per you, what exactly is teacher well-being? You're on mute, Yangjela. We cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. So, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
So, I have been a teacher. Yetul knows that I have been her colleague in the last school, and yeah. So and I am a homemaker now, and I have been like a person wearing many hats. Okay. So what has happened is that this is what I have found out, this is what works for me, is that I have to set expectations. Just like in a class, how you set expectations from your kids, the same way you have to set expectations with your family, with your colleagues, everybody. And people in position like coordinators have to have this very clearly marked, I think. I mean, you don't want to look very aggressive and demanding, but at the same time, you have to be assertive. So you have to be very clear. Your communication should be very explicit and clear, and keeping kindness in mind. Compassion always works with anybody, be it human or an animal. And you have to organize your time very well. So basically, you have to be disciplined. Give
Right.
yourself the time also, give your work time. And when you go home, I think you should not take your class feelings, emotions, or whatever. If you had a
Right.
frustrating day, don't take it home and don't vent it on your family.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, I'll move on to the next question, which is there, which is like, what is like after we discuss about what is teacher well-being, like, why is it important? Why is well-being of the teacher so important, ma'am?
Um, okay, as Ms. Angela has been stating,
Huh.
a person who's an employer or a teacher, okay,
Hmm.
whomsoever you call, you name them, if
Huh.
you have those safe environment whether you are working or you are an administrator altogether, you are working in an admin office,
Huh.
the place you enter, you know that it is going to be safe for you to work with, number one.
Right.
Number two, when you know your job is secured, okay, you're not going to
Right.
be every day, you're not going to be scared to get into that position
Right.
or to work on.
Huh.
Number three, as Ms. Angela and others have been stating, yes, caring leaders and administrator play a major role, in the well-being of the teachers.
Right.
And definitely the last part would be monetary benefits too, looking forward to,
Right.
some kind of recognitions through monetary ways.
Right.
All these, the basic points I'm giving you will help in the well-being of the teachers or
Right.
the staff of the school. Okay,
Right.
this will lead to um, building in confidence in the teachers, building in their morale, and bring belongingness to the workplace where they work. Otherwise, it will be a very mundane way of looking into, okay, I've been paid, let me get the job done.
Right.
There is no sense of belongingness going forward. Okay, even if I'm not asked for, what is that I can provide to, will automatically work in when you have build that trust and the relation with them. So
Right.
you'll have a cooperative teammates who will, be ready to work whatever you ask for when your vision is clear to them. Okay? And I think this will lead the complete environment of the school itself to change. And a supportive teacher will automatically sunshine it to the classroom, where the environment of the classroom and the student also changes.
Right.
And automatically, when the student, teacher, and the administration, the whole building and the school is happy,
Right.
automatically the goodwill of the school and the vibe of the school spreads there.
Right.
So this is why I think it is very important to look into the teachers' well-being. How do they feel, and what is that we can do?
Right. Okay. I think that makes sense, ma'am, because we have, I think each one of us have experienced it also, and we have seen it also that when we were, actually in the classroom teaching, and what kind of feelings and emotions that we entered into the classroom was exactly how we treated the students also. And I think the happier teachers make the classroom also very much happy. And I think they pass on those happier vibes to the students also. So I think it is very important that each one of us have that feeling in us when we move ahead. And I think for that, definitely you need a leadership team, and a management has to be such that they are empathetic towards their colleagues or their team members in that case, right from, I would say, right from the gardener to the highest of the position. Because I think that I remember that when we were discussing about this webinar, you had also quoted that is it like just only teacher well-being, or is it the well-being of the administrators too? So I think that if the person who's sitting right on top is thinking about the people down, then who is ideally supporting them? So I think it has to be a hand-in-hand coordination which works out. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next one, ma'am. Like, what has an impact on teacher well-being, ma'am? What are the factors that would have a major impact on the teacher well-being?
See, there are n number of reasons that work with the impact on the teacher's well-being. However, for my idea, I have picked up 6 pointers. It's like the more of the demand and the supply kind. If there is a demand for looking for a support, a new fresher, if I'm seeing, okay, walking into your school or your classroom, what is that they look forward for? Definitely knowing about policies, definitely knowing about how to start up, what is the expectation. So the supply of a professional development and handholding is what you can do for the demand you have. Okay. Number two is making them think the right things. Okay. When I'm saying making them think right is, for example, when you step in, they may have n number of queries in their mind. Okay. What is this colleague all about? Whom should I approach to? Will this work, or should I not say? All these things, when these things work in their minds, it is the leader's quality to get into their thought process and say, hey, whatever you think, it's going to be right. Okay. We are there to support you. We can try it together. So this is what you take control with them on their thinking. And the relationship is what we have been talking about a lot, and especially in these days when after the pandemic, I think the trust is the only thing that has been working together to move on in the right path. Had it not been the trust the teacher and the management had, it would have not been the smooth of just delivering the content. No, it was not about delivering only the content. It was more than that, because connecting with the student wasn't easy through a virtual world. So that means that the management had done that kind of trust building with the teachers, which in turn had made them to work with their students too. They knew, okay, whatever may come into, I know whom I can rely on. So that kind of relation and the trust building had worked, will work always. And as we have been talking about clear expectations, yes, what is expected from you, what is your role, because every teacher will have a different role to play with. If your expectations are clear, it's easy to deliver. Okay, your achievements, your goals are very clear to you. And change, yes, as a school, we always come across some changes that we would like to make. So whenever there is a change that you feel like, even for a simplest matter of changing a notice board from here, from the left to the right, okay, rather than you just making a decision as a leader, hey, I want this board to be moved, make them a part of the decision. What do you think about it? How do you feel? Can this be here? What is your idea? If you make them to be a part of a decision that you're making, I think change becomes easy to work with. I think these are the major impacts on the teacher if you are not taking on these lines.
Right. Right. I think that sense of ownership is something, which I think pleases everybody. And I guess that that is something that everybody, I think, longs for, because we have seen that because at this stage also, even like, let's take the smallest example of our own house. When something has been shifted or, maybe moved in the room from one place to another, you really feel like that, because you are staying there, it is your house. How come, the other members decided it and they didn't even consider asking you once about it? So I think that is the family kind of bonding and the feeling that people have. Right. Okay. So my next question, I think, which I'm going to pop up is that, ma'am, how can the school support to reduce the impact, the ones which you just now shared with us? How can the school, maybe I would say, when I say school, definitely the leadership team or your immediate superior who's there, how can that person or that team support the teachers in that process?
Okay, I think when I'm going to answer this question, some of the questions that has arisen in the beginning, like Srishti and Ms. Raji, who had been, coming up as new leaders,
Right.
will also take in some of the cues from here. Okay, so as we have been talking about, if you have you bring in that shared sense of purpose, how does that happen? Is you communicate your vision very clearly to them. Hey, this is my path. If you have a goal, if you have a vision as a school, and you are able to communicate it to them, okay, this is the way we are going to move forward for. Okay, and this is my plan, and how are we going to work together to build in? I need your support. You surrender to them saying that, yeah, I can't do this alone, I need you all. This is going to be taking people along, and managers and administrators, whomsoever, the principal or the board of managers, they are the ones who have to do this when people come together, especially when you are in a startup school. When you are in a new position, you need to do this. Okay, and listening to them makes a lot of difference. Usually what happens is we don't have time. There is always a time constraint. Okay, we have 8 to 2 or 8 to 3 working time, and we fix that up. Okay, I do to have this meeting and this meeting and this meeting. That's what I do. And I will check some documents, what is to be done, and I finish my work. No, listen to them. Okay, it is not necessarily it has to be an academic query all the time. It could be a silly question. Hey, there was a chart on my board and it's missing today, Ms. Gayatri. It's okay. Where will they go? If that kind of a relation is built in, you have to feel proud as a leader saying, hey, I have a colleague whom I can go and question the same way. So that is what, as principals, I think we should be working into. And setting a tone, when I'm saying, is finding opportunities for the team that you have. You may be assessing them on their strengths. Every single person has their own strength. Okay, So letting them participate and lead those kind of an activity. For example, somebody is very creative, put them into the creative end. Whenever there is something to be creative corner, put them as leaders there. Somebody has orator skills, so put them onto, wherever they feel like. So somebody is very good with math skills, tell them to take up the math lab. So that way you bring and set in a tone for everybody feels very important there. Okay, she's not, I'm also equally important. And lead by example is what I believe in. Okay, it's because many times we speak and we do not follow what we speak. Until unless you do it, you walk through, into the classrooms to your teachers, talk to them and asking them, saying a thank you, giving them a small notes of, appreciation of what they have been doing, taking small notice of every simple thing that they have done. Probably there was a yellow chart yesterday and today they have made a green chart on the board. Those little differences, if you can make out and appreciate them for the hard work, time and commitment, I think that is the best thing anybody can come across as a leader. You have a complete whole team who will, work for you and for the school because the belongingness has walked in with them. And I think I have jotted down few of the points. If time permits, I can, go ahead, or we can move on with the next slide.
I think, ma'am, we can, go ahead with your jotted points, because I guess somewhere or the other they are going to lead up with the questions, because we have, already I've shared it with you. So I think those are on those lines, knowing you that how you would have organized it. So I think let's go ahead with it.
Thank you, Hital. I think whatever I felt and I do is what I have jotted down. Okay, I value people. I never forget to give a credit to someone who has done the right job. I never forget to appreciate for their commitment and the hard work. I never fail to notice any change that they have brought into the organization. I create a culture of continual learning. That is the way I was explaining. There is providing opportunities for them to grow. They can lead a small professional development of whatever strengths they have. I know how to work with Google Drive. I know how to work with Microsoft. That is what I fill in as our collaborative meetings. Doesn't go only on how to fill in planners. Then I have already spoken about relationships. I connect with them on their personal and their emotional side also, not only on the content knowledge of it. I go beyond that and ask them, hey, how is your family doing? Did your son settle down? Is your mother okay with it? So this kind of emotional side of connect, I always feel that strengthen the relationships of the school and the team. And I'm always available to my team anytime. I've never counted the timings. There are times that I may have to skip my lunch, but I've never felt bad about it at all. Because at the end of the day, when I go back, I feel the contentment, hey, I was available for someone and the time will come that I can do the same with them. So that is what I do. And I organize sometimes lunch, tea, or some fun time together other than the work time. And I never forget to wish, greet, ask them what's up, as I've said. This, the secret letters, I think all of them, those who have worked with me will know. It is a small letter. It's a very small letter. It's just a 4 sentences or 5 sentences that I make. And either I send it through a mail or a secret Santa or put it on the table or on the notice board, something different every time when I appreciate them. But then they also start looking forward for the change that they have made and what is that, did ma'am notice this? Okay. And there were times that my team had walked to me and said, hey, all these times you have noticed and this is the change I brought and you have not noticed it. Okay. So that kind of relationship, and you as a leader will have a strong hold on knowing each and every simple change that is happening towards you too. So that has helped them into the morale boost of a teacher. You are very important for me and I exactly know what you've been doing. So this is what I have been always doing, and I keep telling them that I'm always available anytime they need me, other than even the content knowledge I could provide to them.
I think a sense of security is something, which I think people will look forward to, and they take solace in that feeling. I think that's right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. So I would, now like the audience, if you have any other question and if you would like to, put it across related to again teacher well-being, or maybe, tough situations where you were in a fix and you did not know exactly that, what to do and how to handle that situation. Maybe we can, Gayatri ma'am can help us answer that, or maybe somebody else from the audience would also have some kind of feedback on the same. So any questions that you would like to put across?
Hi, Ketan.
Yes, yes, Angela.
No, I just, that was very interesting listening to the last speaker. I
Hmm.
just have a question.
Huh.
So when you are in a leadership position,
Hmm.
okay, like a coordinator or whatever, and you have to pull up somebody for not
Hmm.
stepping up, how do you do it?
Hmm.
That's I'm just asking. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I think I have never found it difficult as a leader because I've been in leadership for almost 11 years now. Whenever I have to pull them up and say, hey, I was expecting this from you and you have not, come up to the mark of my expectation.
Hmm.
Okay. Because most of the time, the approach or the tone that we, put it across to them matters a lot in these areas.
Hmm.
So it is, if I'm going to be bossy enough and say, okay, this was your expectations and you have not done, I'm not helping them to come up of to my expectations. I'm making them to go one step low.
Hmm.
Rather, what I do is, hey, I was expecting something more from you, and what suddenly happened to you? Was there anything that
Hmm.
has not helped you to work with, or is there anything that I've forgotten to help you out with?
Hmm.
Okay, this is the way of approach I put myself first, saying that I must have not done enough for you so that you have not gone to that expectation. So that gives them a freedom to speak about, to come up and say, yes, I would like to take this help from, or I have a struggle in this place, so which becomes easier for me in those areas.
Right. I would, like to add a little bit over here that actually it's a major failure, that I witnessed, because I did not know how to exactly, approach these kind of situations. And I think there were times, when I possibly became over friendly and I was just trying to, pamper the wrong kind of person. Maybe, where the approach might have to be a little different, but I did not maybe realize it, or I lacked experience at that moment, and I guess that it didn't work out at all. And there was another time where maybe the pampering was needed, and I was maybe, my tone was not right, or maybe the words which I used were not right, and again it went wrong in a very bad way. So I think that this is also something which comes with experience. And of course, like the first time when we are talking to the person, we really have to, consider all the background also of it, that, why, what, and how happened, and then talking to them, discussing them, and I think asking them that where they need our support or somebody else's from the team support. I think that should work out first, and then I guess the number of meetings that you are, having with them for the similar kind of concern is something which will also play a major role, right, ma'am? I think that's what I feel.
Yes, and I will also agree with Hetal and Angela ma'am, because
Huh.
there is a moral dilemma as a leader always that comes into your mind.
Hmm.
Okay, whether you are stepping into their shoes or you are moving back on to extend that help.
Hmm.
There is that thin line that everybody has to go
Hmm.
back and forth all the time.
Hmm.
So you may really have to calculate when you have to extend the hand to pull
Hmm.
them up, and when you have to keep your hands tight at your back to make them stand on their own. So
Right.
that, I think, as Ms. Isel had spoken, it comes with a little bit of experience, and once you understand the person's strength and
Hmm.
weakness, it becomes easy.
Right. Right.
It's a balancing trick.
Right. Yeah, yes. Right. Okay, so I think that we have, hardly 5 more minutes left. Any other question that you guys want to put up?
I think Ms. Shrishti's and Raji's question, if I have to, answer it across.
Huh.
Anyway, congratulations to your new role. Yeah, see, what happens is when you step into a new role, and especially when your teammates are at the same age, or you had been pulled up for another role as a leader from the same group, it is always a challenge, because the way of working with them immediately changes when you change the role. Okay.
Right.
And if you have not been a teammate like Raji and you had taken up the role, but your age sometimes is equal, or you may be younger to some of them with their teaching experiences. Okay. But as a leader, most of the time, your vision is completely, and you are the ones who have to be pulling them back to the stream where you have to walk through. All that you have to do is, you should be knowing to appreciate what they have. Okay. Definitely experiences are to be appreciated, whether it has been just a teacher experiences, okay, or whether it has been, because some of them would have denied the leadership roles at all, because their passion is only about teaching, and they didn't want to move on to the leadership. Okay. So we cannot underestimate stating that, okay, they had been only a teacher, they have not seen a leadership. No. A teacher itself is a leader. She is already handling 30 to 40 kids in a classroom. She's already a leader. She doesn't have to step into another role to prove herself to be a leader. So if you make them understand, hey, I have a lot of respect for you on these lines, okay, and I think you are the one who can guide me whenever there is a challenge and how we can move about. Okay. Bring them onto your seat to think rather than you thinking and giving them ideas. I think it becomes easier for you. Okay. Tell them you think and let me know. We can discuss and come to a discussion on it. Okay. Not every time you have to agree, but then most of the time it helps.
Right. Right.
Srishti, I think
So
you're
this is, yeah, no, I was just thinking, so this is where the trust and the time you spend building that bond comes into place, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Srishti. Srishti, we are not able to hear you.
No.
No, we are not able to hear you, Srishti.
There's some connection issue.
Yeah, I think she has some. Yeah, Srishti? No, we cannot hear you.
Probably you may have to type it across yours.
Yeah, you want to type it out in the chat box, Srishti? I think that should be helpful.
This is how our online classroom works, isn't it?
Right. True. Okay, so while Srishti is just typing, I'll just take these 2 minutes to basically end the session, because it was a timed one, and I cannot assume that Gayatri ma'am will go on and on and on. And the same with everybody else. I know that Srishti, then of course Yangela was also very, very enthusiastic about this topic, and that's why possibly we can again plan one more later on with a lot more of interaction in it. But thank you so much, Gayatri ma'am, for being here, because these thoughts were really needed. And I think most of us were having these questions in our mind, that how, what to be tackled. So I think that should be helpful. And thank you to the audience also, that, you guys took out the time and joined in here. Thank you for being patient listeners as well. And of course, as I go on laughing, I know that sometimes people bear it up, but that's fine. Okay, so here is Shrishti's reply to everyone. Since I was in their position, I always end up thinking from their perspective, but as a leader, is it correct? I wonder.
Yes, you are, as a leader too. Because once you step down to a teacher, okay, for example, there is a parent who had come, okay, and said that, this teacher had not corrected the books rightly. When you were a teacher, you know what exactly you have been doing, and there would have been definitely a miss from your end. After all, we are all humans, and to err is human. Okay. But as a leader, you cannot leave the parent. At the same time, you cannot leave your teammates. So what you do is you can say, of course, I agree with your point that it has to be corrected because you have trusted and given the child to us. Okay. So it's our duty to do the right things for you. But at the same time, I can always assure you, it would have been just a bad day or just a miss on the teacher's note. I know what exactly a teacher she is. She's going to be doing the right things. I can assure you on her part. So if you build in that assurance, I think the team also comes together. And what I usually put the teacher and the parent first. Okay, saying that you build in a relation. If I'm going to be in between you both, there is always the strength that is loosened from the parent and the teacher. Okay, solve the issues. I don't say that you don't have a problem at all. You have a problem. Speak it to the other person. You are going to be the triangle who is going to build that wall. If you three agree, disagree, build in, not build in, all three of them, I'm including the student too. Bring in the student when you have a discussion. The teacher, student, and the parent. Talk to them what went wrong. Sometimes the teacher would have said, hey, I'm not going to correct your book because you have submitted it late. That would have been a case, and the child would have known it well. Okay, the parent would have not been communicated. So because the teacher felt I'm communicating with the child, that's enough. That is what usually plays around in a school. So leave the teacher and the parent to get that relation built in with the student. I think that will work wonderfully well. You tell them, if all three of them cannot get a solution, then come to me. I may try it out. Okay, so that is what you have to do. And trust both people. You cannot trust one and leave the other one. No, it will not work, because here they have believed you and the brand that they have put in. There they have only believed you as a leader. So you need both of them to balance that art.
Okay, thank you. So with that, we'll end the session. People, have a wonderful day ahead, and thank you so much once again, Gayatri ma'am. Bye, everyone. See you. The
Thank you,
recording will be
everyone.
uploaded. The recording will be uploaded on Facebook, so you guys will be able to see it later on also.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hetal, and others those who have joined me. I would like to thank the Work Hard School and hearty congratulations on their
Thank you,
new
ma'am.
way of looking into things.
Thank
Looking
you, ma'am.
forward
Thank
to
you so much.
joining all in more sessions. All the
Thank you
best.
so much.
And bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.